quick video. This is a 2007 Toyota Avalon. You're going to need a long screwdriver. And you'll stick it right there. And this is going to help you. I use this to pry the alternator out. First things first, disconnect your negative so you don't mess up your electrical components.
Down there, you see that? That's a first bolt I would tackle. This right here is also attached to this bracket right here. I took my screwdriver, and what I did is I took a hammer and got the bracket to come off of here so this could be free. What happens is when you take the alternator off, the wire is going to start pulling with it, and you don't want to replace that. What I used for that bolt right there
was this 14 millimeter, a 3-inch adapter socket. You get to it just fine, no special tool. Use the same thing for the top bolt. And I did that so I don't put any pressure on this hose. And also what I did is I removed this 3/8 extension, moved this socket back to the base, and I use it to get to the bottom bolt of the alternator. I did put a cheater bar to give me some height so my hand's not deep down in there, and then I was able to get the bottom bolt loose. After all the bolts are taken out, of course, 10 millimeter, you'll click right here and this will pull out. And I went ahead and unclicked this, and then I removed the top cover, which all you do is just pull it out. And I went ahead and this just pops right off, so this has a lot of play. Now the trick is, now you got everything loose and everything is disconnected. Sorry, take that loose too. That will help get all the wires out. Sorry, I forgot about that. Now that everything is disconnected, how are you going to get this alternator out? I watched 3 videos. One guy literally took this hose out. He started disconnecting all this stuff. Another guy had a mother-in-law broke down and he was taking all of this stuff off. Okay? But I do agree with taking the plastic front protector piece off. I do agree with that. It's real easy. Now, how I got this thing to come out was I undid this bolt right here that holds the oil dipstick. This actually has a lot of play and it will move. I believe it's a 12 millimeter socket. I undid bolts 1, 2, and 3. This heat shield will literally slide way out of your way, and I was able to get this alternator to fit through this area right here. With this heat shield out of the way and this dipstick out of the way, this will move out. Okay, you might, you know, have to play with this a bit, but really it wasn't that tough. It is strategic on how you put it in because you don't want to have to rotate the alternator once you get it down in there. So be very strategic on where you're gonna, how you position to put your alternator. So I was actually scared and nervous. I was gonna pay a mechanic to do it, but the more I watched videos, the more I got confident and comfortable, and it was just really easy, you know. Connection 1, connection 2, take this off. The whole point is to get as much slack off this cable and that connection down there. That's it. And then you got a bolt down here, which with the basic extension and a 14 millimeter wrench, you can get that off. Don't forget about that cable, because when you pull this alternator out, that cable will jerk off with it. So make sure it's free down there. And other than that, yeah, just start putting your bolts back in. And the bottom one, I guess if you want to take the wheel off and all that crap, really it's not necessary. I mean, it's not really bad. Now, the trick is what did I do to get the belt off? Well, if you don't have a huge 14 millimeter opened end wrench for that tension pulley, sorry, for that tension pulley that is right there. Right there's the tension pulley. So what I did is I went to AutoZone. I gave them $33. They gave me a tension pulley wrench. Now the socket will not work because there's no room for a socket right here. It's just not gonna happen, not enough room. So I used the tension pulley wrench. It is 14 millimeter. Make sure that is in the box before you walk off with it, not some other size. It's 14 millimeter opened in. You attach it to here. It's a long bar, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna go counterclockwise, and the belt will loosen. And I actually zip tied it to the motor mount right here, so the tension pulley wrench stayed in this position. And all you do is just slip the belt off your alternator. That's it. Try not to start taking everything off the belts. Make sure. And also, before you put your tension back on, make sure all your belts are in line. Make sure that they're on their grooves. Make sure they're in their space. Okay? Well, that's it. So, to me, that was the easy way. I did it in an hour, and I have never done it in my life.